Hello everyone, so as you can see I've got a fairly small haul and review from Yankee Candle for you. This was from Yankee's semi-annual sale, and it was actually purchased a little while ago, I think back on January 4th or so. So yeah, I haven't actually gone to their semi-annual sale much, or maybe even ever before, but I was much more impressed with it than I have been with Bath & Body Works' semi-annual sale this year. The thing with Bath and Body Works, when I went to Yankee, I also checked out Bath and Body Works for maybe the third or fourth time over their SAS, and it's just been so unimpressive. Not only the selection, that there's nothing new, there's nothing good with their so-called returning favorites from candles that they couldn't get rid of at the semi-annual sale in June. Now they're repouring for their big return at the SAS for December. But also just the prices, the sort of how many days in a month are Bath and Body Works candles in an average month, $11 or $10, when they're the 2 for 22, pretty often, versus Yankee, where I feel like you're actually getting a decent value. Most of the things in this video here were 50% off. And in the store, they had a very large, wide selection of primarily large jars, but also some medium jars and other items, as you can see, at 50% off. Even a couple of things at 75% off. Where to get a large jar Yankee for $13.99 is pretty impressive. They don't often have that level of sale. And when they offer coupons or things like buy two get two free, you're still putting out basically $60 to get 4 large candles, which you may not even always want that many large Yankees, and certainly to pay $60 at one time is quite a bit for 4 candles. So to get them at $13.99 is great, and just kind of goes to show that they are at this point becoming in some ways a better value than Bath & Body Works, at least for me. So I guess we can dig right into the scents. Of course, anyone who's been around for a while has probably smelled most, if not all, of these scents, but I'll tell you what I paid and just sort of give a kind of mini review on the ones that we've got here. So we'll start with, I guess, down in the front there. You saw I just purchased 3 tarts, nothing major. Tarts, I enjoy them, but I'm burning them so infrequently at this point that it just didn't make sense to get many of them. There were bins and bins of them for 50% off, so basically their dollar tart sale, which is really great. A good value for them, certainly worth that. But I really only need a couple because they'll last me. They made me just be thrown into a bin with a ton of other ones, and I don't know when I'll touch them, but I figured at least with these two, they are sort of either transitional or this blueberry here can be burned or melted rather at any time. So the first up, sugared apple. It reads as a deliciously sweet apple treat, a perfect recipe of juicy apples sprinkled with sugar and vanilla. And smelling this, I have smelled this thing that came out maybe 2 years ago at this point. I've always enjoyed it. I never purchased it in any other form before. And to me, it actually goes towards a little bit like a Bath & Body Works signature scent or something, because it's not a traditional authentic apple, I think, at all, really. It is sweet, almost candy-like sweet, fruity, not really juicy, not a Jolly Rancher. Just a very a fresh, like refreshing, almost like you know what? Like an herbal essence of shampoo kind of sweet fruitiness in that sense, or like a tween kind of Britney Spears, fragrance or perfume or something, where there's almost a tiny hint of floral, but I think it's just a cleanness in there. A little bit of an apple, that sugared scent, just really nice, kind of sweet. Yeah, I think this could really be almost a year-round fragrance as well. But then you've got blueberry, which I've seen blueberry scone, blueberry muffin. I've never seen straight up blueberry before. And blueberry, I think, is very hard to do well in wax. Bath & Body Works has tried and hasn't really succeeded, at least at any level of authenticity. And this one, actually, I can't even find it on their website at this point, so I don't know, maybe some of you Yankee historians or gurus can tell me, is this super old? Was this a returning favorite? Is it a flop scent? Are people mad that it's gone? Are they happy that it's gone? What's the general consensus on this? Because I don't know. The description reads, wonderfully tangy and sweet, a pure delicious burst of juicy, wild blueberry aroma. And smelling this, it really is the closest thing to authentic I could ever imagine in wax. They've really got spot on when they say tangy, because again, blueberries are not necessarily incredibly sweet. They always have a little bit of a bite to them. And this does smell tangy in that way with the sweetness behind it. And it actually reminds me of, I guess, well, it smells a little bit like, if you remember from when you were a kid, those scented markers, kind of the blueberry scented markers. So maybe not the most authentic, but what it reminds me of, which, the big thing with scent is where it takes you, personally, is when I was young, there was an Italian ice shop. It was like at the back of a laundromat or something. And it wasn't like the Rita's Italian Ice or any of the big chains. It was like a small independent place. And they had blueberry ice. And it was actually the same color, which is kind of unique because I know like a lot of the chains now, when they do Italian Ice, it's like a neon blue with little chunks of blueberry in it or whatever. But this one looked like this. And it actually smelled just like this as well. Fairly authentic. It's got a little bit of bite to it, a little bit of tang, a lot of sweetness. It doesn't really smell like sort of the fake, blueberry bits that you get in a blueberry cereal or breakfast treat from, some sort of prepackaged granola bar or something. I really like this. I hope it melts well. Again, it could just be a kick that I've got on it because it reminds me of the scent from when I was a kid, or it could actually be something that is very good. Not really totally sure at this point. Then we move on to, so those were $1 each. Then we move on to this 12-pack of tea lights in White Christmas. If you saw my video a couple videos back, I reviewed this. I purchased this in the 2-wick, what are they calling it? 2-wick tumbler, I believe. And I just really fell in love with it. The scent, the name, the image, everything was kind of perfect for me, and I really enjoyed it. I burned through quite a bit of that, more than I normally do in one season for a Yankee. And I think Susan described it, or when she reviewed it, that for her the image just spoke to her as that is Christmas, and I couldn't agree more. When I see this, I think Christmas. I think driving home on Christmas Day through a small town, seeing a church up on the hill in the sun with snow twinkling on the steeple, and just really kind of the perfect image of Christmas. And the smell too. So the notes. Read you quickly the notes if you're unfamiliar. Are what do we got here? So they say a quiet holiday beauty in this blend of woodsy evergreens and cool, freshly fallen snow. And just like get a sniff of it. Now, Yankee tea lights aren't going to give you much throw in any scent in any brand, but if any scent is going to throw well, it's this one because it is a very strong scent. And now you've got just that sort of balsam, evergreen, resinous woodsiness, just with a fresh, clean edge to it, which is really, it's one of those conceptual scents where it doesn't necessarily smell like a thing, but it takes you somewhere, which are, those sort of scents are my favorite thing. I can love, a perfect, fruit or, certainly cinnamon sugar donut, though I don't generally love bakery. I, love that cinnamon sugar donut candle from years ago, Bath & Body Works, because it was so authentic. But usually I'll lean towards the conceptual scents that take you somewhere. And this one takes you somewhere, takes you to a White Christmas. So love that one. It mostly will be, certainly I'll never light that just to get the throw from it, because you won't. But, if I'm lighting for ambiance and have me burn in White Christmas next year, that is the perfect one to add to it, to just kind of layer in and add, an additional level of fragrance. So that's that one. Then we move on to, let's talk about the Smart Scent vent clips. So anyways, those are $9.99, obviously 50% off, paid $5. This was the only thing in the video that was full price. I had been using Bath & Body Works Scent Portable vent clip-ish scent portables, but I've just been kind of unimpressed, with their scents lately and selection, and also the actual scent portable, the holder itself was kind of a matte, like a kind of a sleek black matte finish, and the finish itself bubbled and started peeling and like rippling and falling off like rubbery, and it was never in like the crazy sun or the crazy ice cold or anything like that, so not great quality there. But even the scents, like sometimes you'll get a good scent throw on them, other times some scents just won't really smell at all, even when you have heat blowing through the vent and blowing right by it. So been kind of falling further and further out of love with that, so I figured it was time to give Yankee's car options a shot. Now this says new, I'm not sure how new it is. Again, it was full price, so maybe it's newer, but I know they also have like they used to have like the scented cardboard tags that would hang on your rearview mirror, but then also I think like scent sticks or something like that at Yankee, which I never tried. But this sticks right into your vent. I'm hoping this big image of the jar here maybe just pulls out to open the scent, because it doesn't look like in the image that they show it. The one thing I could do without with this though is, like, I understand that the large jar is sort of their iconic, you know, brand image, but it just looks kind of weird and out of place on this. Like, I don't need to advertise that it's like, oh, he's got a Yankee scent in the car. Look he's got that Yankee jar, because it's, I mean, not that I would be embarrassed or care, but it's just like, it doesn't fit. You know, this plain, sleek, gray scent item doesn't need to have a kind of tacky shape of a random jar that doesn't make sense on the cover of it. So that's my only complaint with it. But if it smells strong and works well, I'll like it. But I hope that maybe I'll do some more research. I hope it does not leak. Obviously it shouldn't, but I know there were reports with scent portables in cars where people have them in their visor clips, or in their vent like this one here. And sporadically, randomly, the disc would spring a leak and pop and leak and go either onto the dashboard or onto their car, onto their leather or their faux leather seats. And it's really kind of a caustic oil mixture that's in there and can really eat away at things. So I always actually take the Bath & Body Works one out and put it in my center console so it doesn't, you know, randomly bust and destroy my dashboard. I'm hoping maybe this one will be a little better quality, which quite honestly from Yankee I would expect. They seem like they're a bit higher quality. So that's that. The scent, everyone knows, I think most love, or at one time or another in their fragrance journeys have loved sage and citrus. Super strong. It's described as, no, actually it's described on the site, it's a really long description, which maybe that's how old it is. It says, let the worries of the day slide away with the help of this relaxing herbal blend of earthy sage, luxurious talc, and lemon lime. The predominantly sage fragrance with just hints of citrus and talc creates a natural harmony that tells your body and mind that it's okay to unwind and enjoy the comforts of your home. The scent is earthy, but in a very clean, smooth way. The home decor friendly color helps sets the tone too. No, that's kind of silly, but whatever. The thing that surprised me with this, I never knew it had talc in it. I'm not exactly sure what talc is supposed to smell like. I mean, do they mean like sort of the traditional baby powder scent, or talc like the raw form of talc itself, just like a dry kind of chalky mineral scent to it almost? That's interesting to me. I've never heard of talc in a fragrance before, except for like, you know, towels or fluffy, puffy, whatever. And this is very strong. It is, the citrus, again, I don't have to go in depth with you guys, but it's very much like a resinous, dried down, thick citrus, a very dried, earthy sage, not at all fresh green at all. It doesn't actually smell like sage to me. And, you know, there are many sage fragrances that I've yet to smell that actually smells just like sage does. Except, funnily enough, an old failed test scent, 2011 Bath & Body Works Lavender Caramel, also known as Lavender Macaroon. Didn't say it had sage in it, wasn't supposed to smell like sage, but it straight up smelled like sage. Actually to myself, and Karen sent my way as well. I think she referred to the whole candle as stovetop stuffing because of the predominant sage note, which I actually really, it made me love it. But this sage and citrus I do enjoy, but it doesn't smell truly like sage. I wish there would be one that did. But still a wonderful year-round, bordering on generic, but so good quality that it keeps it out of the, you know, boring generic side of things. And I usually like to, I was sticking to more seasonal things in my car, but with this you just can't go wrong, especially if it has a good throw. So why not? Go for it, right? Then we move to, let's actually jump to the Bayberry candles here. Now you may have seen, I actually purchased these as well in my Yankee haul video a couple videos ago. And what this is, these are just a pair of traditionally made unscented, even though it's bayberry, it's made from bayberries, the vegetable or the wax that's in the bayberries, as opposed to having a bayberry scent like you would expect. It doesn't have in other words, it doesn't have the oils, the essential oil of bayberry. It has the wax that's naturally found in the bayberry fruit, or whatever it is, the plant. And so, but anyhow, so they're traditional, just plain pillar candles. And what it says, legend has it, burning a bayberry candle from tip to socket puts luck in the home and gold in the pocket. And so what you're supposed to do is gift these either on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. You light one of them, you burn it straight down through. It takes 4 to 7 hours, and it's supposed to be a traditional kind of good luck charm for the coming year. For luck and wealth. So that kind of thing is fun. I think it actually makes a great host or hostess gift. See, it's $8 there. So it's 50% off, $4. I have been buying them every year for the past few years. I actually should have grabbed a few more of them. They don't change year over year, and you never know if they'll discontinue them. So it was great to pick up. But yeah, it's a great host or hostess gift if you're going somewhere. If you're not hosting for Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, show up with not even the set. Just show up with, if you're going to different places each night, or for each holiday going to different place, show up with one of the candles, the story of it. If you maybe want to have a little printout of that, you can, or just tell the person. And a little small pillar holder and say, oh, I brought this. You read the little kind of, cute little rhyme there, and you light it, and it goes throughout the evening. It's just a nice little touch, I think. And it doesn't, it's unscented, so it doesn't, mix if they have any sort of scents already going in their home. It doesn't mix with that. So just a nice little tradition, and in this case, so cheap, couldn't pass it up. And I was happy to see, an item that, it's nice when you go to a sale to see items that you actually want to purchase and not items that you're like, well, it's cheap, I guess I should buy it, which if I bought anything at the Bath & Body Works sale, that's all it would have been. It would have been like, I don't hate this candle. I guess it's good enough to get. All right, I'll buy it. It's on sale, which I'm not about that life anymore, so good to see something I actually wanted to buy on sale. Then we move to the 2 stars of the show here. First up, good old Jackie Frost, as Karen and I call him. We refer to the candle as a human. We have personified the snowman candle name for this candle. One of my first, when I started getting sort of into the candle hobby obsession, this is one of the first purchases, at least from Yankee, Jack Frost, when I smelled it at Karen's. It's just, as you can see, I bought this, a week and a half ago, and I burned quite a bit of it already. If I can get it open. It's just, there's something about this, and I didn't have one earlier this season, which bummed me out, which is why I'm still burning it now in January. Whereas Twisted Peppermint is peppermint strong with some vanilla, and it's just that. It's like peppermint, maybe peppermint candy. Jack Frost is it's such a soft, non-candy vanilla, generic fragrance vanilla, just a really calm, sweet, pure vanilla with a good touch of, maybe an equal touch of peppermint thrown in. It's not like a fluffy, marshmallow peppermint or anything like that. A true, invigorating peppermint thrown in there, but not overpoweringly invigorating. And this, like Fresh Balsam, like White Christmas, like so many candles that I love, this is an experience, or, what did I say before? It's not a thing. It's not just a peppermint vanilla candle. It takes you somewhere. You sniff that, and you're outside. You're in the middle of a forest, or maybe not in forest, because there's no... there's none of the evergreens there or the earthy things there. It's just, you're like in a winter wonderland. It's just snow everywhere, the big snowman. It's hard to put into words, really, that candle. And it's so funny comparing the two, that to Twisted Peppermint, how different they can be for being, such similar notes. But I love, love, love Jack Frost. So to get that large jar for $13.99, which... I would say it will last me a year or two, but I think probably next year I'll be burning it pretty hardcore, since I really have taken a liking to it again over Twisted Peppermint. So yeah, it's just, really, really, really great. So not that anyone here has not smelled it before, I'm sure you have. But then we move to maybe the one surprise in the mix here that's certainly non-seasonal, has nothing to do with the Christmas or holiday season, is Under the Palms. And this is another one where, again, Yankee historians, Yankee gurus, school me on this. I don't know the history of it. I don't know. Is it a scent that people love, hate, in between, new, old? I don't know. The description is cool, refreshing shade, a lush green scent of seagrass, palm leaves, and island coconut. Now, I've got too many Bath & Body Works, Tiki Hut Lagoon, Tropical Paradise, Hawaii, Caribbean, wherever you want to go in the globe, there's an island. Yankee has released, Bath and Body Works has released a candle collection, and I've purchased half the candles. And you've got things like coconut leaves, and you've got, certainly the Coastal Cool collection had tons of things like this, and the Summer Boardwalk collection from 2012 had a ton. And it is similar to a lot of those, again, because if you're saying seagrass or palms, things like coconut, it's so generic and so all-encompassing that, of course, they're going to all have those. But there's something really unique and that I like about this that's different. It's very strong. It's funny, the coconut was actually in the background. Now, of course, I smell it and I absolutely get the coconut, but originally it was kind of in the background for me. It smells weaker than when I first smelled it. Maybe I haven't opened it much lately, but it looks nice and, as people say, juicy or full of oils. I'm actually going to rub the oil to really release some and get that scent going. What's interesting to me is it's not sweet at all. There's something almost kind of astringent in there, or weird enough, I'll actually say like almost kind of off-putting, like really like oof, like something sharp, or like the brown twigs, or resinous, or sap, or something strong, not sweet, that's in there. But then I realized it's actually, to me, it's a mix between Bath & Body Works Coconut Leaves, which I will always stand for that, I love that one, and I believe failed test scent from Bath & Body Works last year, Heirloom Greens, in the spring, which was, I think they called it, was like, I don't know, lettuce and herbs or something weird like that, but it had that same kind of sharp, almost bitter green, like if you're biting into raw, kale or something like that. Not quite that intense, a little more towards like the, fresh cut grass than like a salad, but it's definitely got sort of a bitter green to it that is really, makes it extra kind of refreshing in a way, because so much of the tropical stuff is just so sugary, ooey gooey, pineapple, mango, coconut, diabetes attack, that it's just, sometimes you want something truly fresh without being, the cologne side of things. This isn't at all going so complex and complicated that it leans towards being a men's fragrance, but it's still that sort of that, not so much herbal, but just a green, intense, fresh, that I really gravitate towards, especially when sort of like resetting from the holidays and trying to go into a fresh spring. So I actually really have liked that one. I don't know that I'll need to purchase it again once I go through it, but I'm looking forward to that as something maybe in the springtime as one of my mid-transitionals. So I've gone on and on, in-depth here, burning your ears here for 23 minutes. I appreciate you watching. Certainly, comment, let me know what you think. Continue the convo over at facebook.com/TouchTheFireTwice. Let me know what deals you got at the Yankee SAS. It seems to still be going on. I think they're doing the medium jars now, like 3 for $30 or something like that, which is a great deal. And yeah, that's about it for now. Take care, and until next time, we'll see you.